back with another video today and some more Duramax shenanigans. I have a little project today on one of our work trucks. We actually have a 2015 dually Duramax. It's our work truck for our plumbing crew that we have in-house here for our pool business. The front shocks seem to be completely shot on the truck, so it's something I'm gonna get working on today and get them replaced. And this is just a pre-phase for the video. I do have a cool ending here for you guys. I'm actually gonna make this mostly a video about the 5 things that I love about my Duramax. Quick rundown, this is a 2015 dually. The truck has roughly 160,000 miles on it, and the front shocks are completely stock. So I took it for a ride after one of my guys was telling me it was bouncing around a lot, and it just seems like it's completely shot. Especially driving on 75 with all this weight behind it, you can definitely feel it. So I'm gonna work on getting this swapped out. After this is complete, I'll get back over to my truck, show you guys the 5 things I love about it, and of course I'll have another video coming afterwards with the 5 things I hate about it. There's not too many things I hate about the truck, honestly. I'm a huge Chevy guy, but there are things that I think could have been done better. Even some different things that were on past generation trucks that for some reason 10 years ago Chevrolet decided, hey, we don't need that anymore. And it was actually a really cool feature, so that'll be in the next video here. Alright guys, so at this point here you can see I got the stock shock out. These are the 2 top mounting bolts, and there's one slide through bolt that goes through right there. And what I did to accomplish this, if you guys do have a Duramax and you're looking to change these shocks out yourself as well, all I did was jack the truck up on this support right here, and all you have to do at that point is up here you have 2 bolts you want to take the nuts off of, which were 13/16, and then after you do that you can take the slide through one right down here and the shock will just fall out. So I have the new shocks here. These are nothing special. Alright guys, so as you can see here, I got this nut here and this nut here, both tightened up. I have this bolt right here that goes through here with this nut on this side all tightened up. And so all you gotta do is switch out these shocks. So you don't have to undo the control arm, don't even have to take a wheel off. All I did was turn it so I had a little more clearance to work right here. But pretty much just make sure when you jack the truck up, you don't jack it up by the A-arm right here, because if you do, you're actually gonna compress the shock and you won't be able to just drop out like it did for me. So make sure you either jack the truck up on the frame or somewhere else to where you let this drop down. So when you do undo these bolts, the shock just drops right out. So I'm gonna get this drop back down on the ground. I'm gonna get the other side done. Once the other side's done, I'm gonna get to the second part of this video, which is going over the 5 things I love about my Duramax. All right guys, I got the dually next door wrapped up and we are completely ready to go and get started on the 5 things that I love about my Duramax. So quick note, if you guys do have any questions about switching your shocks on a 2500, 3500, it's pretty much the same step either way. If the video wasn't 100% clear, just drop me a question. But pretty much if you just want to change just the shocks on your truck, it should really take you under an hour as long as you have all the right tools there with you. Duramax is sitting outside here, and I'm going to list the 5 things that I love about this truck. So there are a lot of them. I can list a bunch, but I just want to point out the top 5 things that I think make these trucks pretty much the deciding factor on whether you're going to choose a Ford or a Dodge or a Chevrolet. Now, of course, I've been around Chevrolets my whole life. That's my personal preference. So I'm gonna get started on these 5 things right here, guys. And hopefully this is a little different than all the other videos out there on YouTube. I'll try to bring my own perspective. So just so you know, guys, this video in no way, this list in no way is in any certain order. It's not gonna be like my number 1, number 2, number 3. These are just the 5 things I can think of. It's really hard to put them in an exact order when there's so many things I like about the truck. So I will say number 5, I'll start here at the mirrors. So in my personal opinion, I think that Chevrolet has the cleanest mirrors, and it honestly saddens me that they went from the sickest mirror out there to the goofiest mirror on the new 2020s. So pretty much with like people Cummins swapping Fords and not really Cummins swapping Chevrolets, but people put Cummins in a lot of different vehicles, Rat Rod, other Fords, things like that, because of course Fords are terrible. No, I'm just kidding, guys, but I respect Ford for sure. It's just not my cup of tea. Not saying I would never own one day, but there's just so many things about the Chevrolets that I do like. Now, this is of course of this here body style. The new trucks are gonna be a whole different ball game, and that's something I can do a review on once they're actually out on the roads. But as far as the mirrors here, these are the mirrors that you see swapped in a lot of OBS Fords. I've seen them on Toyota Tundras. I've seen them on many different vehicles, as these are just a very good aesthetic looking mirror. They work on a lot of different vehicles, but I think for this truck here, in my personal opinion, I think it's just one of the best looking mirrors out there on the market. Definitely, hands down, think Chevrolet has a #1 looking mirror. Something I noticed on the Fords, if you're ever next to one like a 2015, or even up to the brand new ones, the tow mirrors actually look like they're sitting like this, a little crooked, which I know they have their own reasons for that, but I think it looks terrible, and I think Chevrolet just knocked it out of the ballpark just as far as all the aesthetics on this mirror as well. I even love where the LEDs are. Now of course I know that's aftermarket as far as the switchbacks, but I just think as a whole, these mirrors are perfect, and they're the best mirrors available on any heavy duty truck currently. Now this next point here I know is gonna be very controversial. This is my number 4 thing I love about my 2015 Duramax, is actually the torsion bar setup. So these trucks come from the factory with a torsion bar, is this bar right here. Now this is what puts preload on the lower A-arm right there, and that's actually what helps control the actual rebound of the truck. So of course there is a shock in there just like any other truck, but instead of being coil sprung like the Fords and the Dodges, there's that torsion bar right there that takes your place of that. Now, I know a lot of people hate that about the Chevrolets, but I honestly think if you don't crank them up with leveling keys or even with your lift kit, you can always crank those lift kits up as well to level them with the back, and then the front is level, but then it rides like garbage. So there is a huge con to the torsion bars as well. I do understand that, but in my own opinion, I think at a stock ride height that they do ride better than Fords and Dodges as far as stock for stock, which on my current setup here, you guys can see, even with this setup here, this thing rides like a dream. And if you're going for that level look, just do a 4-inch kit and lower it all the way down on the torsion keys that come with that lift kit, and it's really gonna sit right about the same as a leveling kit with the keys cranked up. These trucks are super cheap to level, just like pretty much any truck, but then they ride like garbage. So I honestly think that if you are in the market for the best quality riding truck and you're not going to crank up the keys on these things, that bring it from the best to the worst, I think that they are the best riding truck on the road as far as being as close to that Cadillac ride, if you will, from a heavy duty truck. I know, guys, a lot of this is controversial. A lot of this is opinion based as far as what you like, personally. I mean, that's why there's a million vehicles out there, because a lot of people have different opinions. But as far as interiors, I really love the Chevrolet interior. This is, I'd say, the number 3 on my list as far as one of my favorite things about the truck. So when I look at a Dodge interior or Ford interior, I will say Dodge and Ford do have other good qualities. But as far as the overall interior and something I'm completely happy with, I honestly would choose a Chevrolet all day, every day. Now, I know that Chevrolet is lacking in some things that the new Fords have. I do understand that. But as far as the look and functionality of the truck, this is definitely something I love about my current Duramax. Now I know, guys, this is not the dash that came in this truck here. This is something that adds icing on the cake of the interior, in my opinion. And if you guys have seen in my previous vids, this is something that I recently did to this truck. I put the Denali dash in, which I think really updates the look of the truck compared to the dash that comes in at standard. And it's crazy to even think that the new 2019 High Countries, even the best Chevrolet you can buy, does not come with this dash here. I do love the whole center section here as far as how you control your AC, your radio, your navigation, everything like that. I love the AC seats and heated seats being right here. I love all these other buttons down here as far as your traction control, your cargo lights, your parking assist, lane assist, things like that. Your power pedals down there. I just love how everything here is laid out. Now, of course, once again, it's all personal preference, but I really think that Chevrolet gives you that car or SUV type feel, if you will, inside of a heavy duty truck, where I feel like the other brands give you that heavy duty truck feel, which of course some people may like that, but as far as a truck that you're going to pay this much money for, I feel like it should feel as luxurious as it can, and I think Chevrolet did a great job of that. And I have seen the new interiors on the 2020s. I'm not a fan of that myself as well compared to this. But of course, that's another video once those trucks actually come out and I can actually, get a good look at them. And just once again, just like how this dash here puts the icing on the cake for, you know, the whole driving experience. As far as the whole center section here with the center console, I love the iPad dash here. This is of course something that does not come in your truck's you know, stock, but there are different kits out there for Fords and Chevrolets as far as putting an iPad dash in your truck. And I just think that adding this to your Chevrolet just once again puts the icing on the cake as far as the whole experience and driving a truck and feeling like you're in something luxurious and not just a, you know, a big heavy duty truck. Now the number 2 thing on my list, counting from 5 all the way to 1, and of course once again guys, this is in no particular order, but I went over 5, 4, 3, and this is my number 2, is the lighting on the 2015 Duramaxes. So now in 2015, the half tons compared to the 3/4 tons do have different headlights, and I love the way that the 3/4 ton headlights look. Now, of course, aside from mine being painted, basically what I'm referring to is just the whole layout and design of the headlight. You have the 2 side markers there, you have your projector up top, you have your high beam down low. Of course, the center section of the light ties into the grille. I just love how on the Chevrolets, the whole headlight ties into the front of the truck compared to even the GMCs where it's just sitting there, where if you pop the light out, it just looks like the headlight's missing, where if you pop this headlight out, you're missing, you know, pretty much a part of the grille as well. So just like on the new Fords and the new Dodges and the new GMCs, it just doesn't have that same design element. And this is just something that, you know, maybe that I've brought this up now, you guys may notice a little more, but I just like how the whole headlight, it's not just a massive light sitting there. Pretty much you just have these 2 little bars of light, and then the rest of it just looks like it's incorporated with the top, middle, and bottom part of the grille. Now down to number 1, the last thing in this video for my list of the top 5 things I love about my Duramax is going to start right where this hood is. Now I know you guys are thinking, hey, you took a hood off of a brand new truck and put it on your LML. Yes, that's true, and I do love this hood, but I didn't put it in this list just because of that. But this is a killer hood. I love it a lot. I didn't want to throw it in this video just because I know that this is an LML. If I was going to add a 6th item to my list, this is hands down something I'd throw in there. Just like the design of the mirrors, I love the design of this hood on these GM trucks. It is super aggressive looking. It brings these trucks to the next level that Ford and Dodge doesn't. And even just the body lines of the truck, I mean, it's just, of course, something small and an aesthetic that I think looks so killer. But of course, guys, how could I leave out the actual powertrain of this truck? This is the last thing on my list, and honestly, I would say this is number 1 on my list, a true number 1. If I had to put everything in order, number 1 on my list, even excluding all this, you know, Illusion Cherry stuff here that makes it look all pretty, the Duramax motor and the Allison transmission, the powertrain in this truck, even out to the rear end, everything about the powertrain on this truck, I think is number 1 on the market. It is a huge reason why I love the Chevrolets. The Duramax is an amazing platform. This platform pretty much has been around since 01 and all the way up until 2016. So I have a 15.5. I pretty much have the last generation of that kind of building block that they've been going off of since the LB7 to the LLY, LBZ, LMM, now the LML. The LML is pretty much the dad of all the predecessors behind it and is the best version of that motor ever produced. Now I know I'm going to get some people that are going to say, hey, the LBZ is the best produced. I will say you do have a good argument there, but of course a huge factor to why you may say that with how good those trucks run is those 07s are so much lighter than these massive LMLs here. I mean, you're over 1,000 pounds lighter when you compare truck to truck. So as far as just the best motor on the market in 2015, if you were looking at a diesel platform, the Duramax motor paired with the Allison transmission is literally the best motor to transmission pair you can get. The Duramax has just been a proven engine. I mean, I had no fear of deleting this except for the CP4 exploding, which that's one downside of these trucks. And of course, I mean, just going through this video now, guys, I've come up with, I may even have 10 things for the things I hate on the truck. You know, that comes from the factory that really shouldn't. But I'll leave that for the next video, guys. For this video, it's just about all the good things, and I'm gonna get back to the best thing, which is this platform here. And we pretty much all can agree, whether you're a Ford, Dodge, or Chevy guy, that the Allison is the best transmission for the diesel platform that is available on the market, hands down. I know I'd say a close second to it would be the transmissions that come on the 2015 6.7s. Those are good units as well. But as far as building the Allisons and just from stock to building it with the aftermarket world, they've been around for so long, they're proven. It is a great platform to delete a truck and not worry about having to spend, you know, $8 grand on a built transmission, like if you were to buy a Dodge and delete it and put a bunch of power to it. And as far as the motor goes, once again, guys, this hasn't been completely rehauled like the Fords did from the 6.0 to the 6.4, then to 6.7. I mean, there's just been so many different motors that Ford came out with, and they never had a long proven track record, you know, up until recently with the 6.7s, of having a reliable motor. So once again, I think the Duramax is just the best platform you can get. Now, I know we are in 2019, guys. The L5Ps are a whole nother monster. You can delete them now. They run amazing. I've seen the Banks video that's 30 minutes long that explains, you know, how much better flowing and everything the new motors are, and the turbo is better, the injectors are better, the injection pump is better. They come with lift pumps. I mean, those trucks are beasts, but they have not been proven yet. They don't have, you know, 10 years under their belt of proving to everyone that they are reliable, where this platform has. So once again, the reason this is number one on my list is because I do think this is the best platform available on the market, especially for the 2015 year model, for a diesel owner that may just want to have a good running truck that's going to be reliable. And whether they're towing, whether they're trying to make it quick, you know, to be a, you know, whether you're going for a race truck or not, I just think they're a good reliable truck that won't give you many issues, aside from the dirty little CP4 that could explode on you if you don't put a lift pump on your truck and you start running big tunes on it. So make sure you do that. And just to end here, guys, as far as this motor setup goes, of course you have the sound of the truck, right? So you have the sound of the Cummins, you have the sound of the Power Stroke, you have the sound of the Duramax. Now, the sound of the Cummins just sounds like it's rattling the earth, which I do like the sound of, but it's not one of my favorite sounds as far as diesel sounds out of an exhaust. Whereas same thing with the Power Stroke, I think even as good as the new 6.7s run in the 2015, 2016, I think they sound like they're underwater, like it's a barking seal or something. I hate the way they sound. Of course, if you compound them, they sound nasty, but if you're not gonna go that far, I think it's one of the worst sounding trucks out there, where I think the Duramax has sounded the same since the LOY came out, even up to the LML. I know they've changed slightly, but they have sounded pretty much the same. If you put a 5-inch exhaust on, you know, the 04.5s all the way up to the 16s, they sound very similar, and I think they have the best sound on the market. So not only are you getting a good sound, you're getting a good reliable motor, a good reliable transmission, and that overall is why I believe Chevrolet is the best truck on the road. All right, guys, so this is the end of the video here. I really hope that was a good video and gave you guys a good insight of why I love my 2015 Duramax, and why I would choose this over a Ford or a Dodge, or of course I would even consider a Toyota or a Ridgeline. I mean, those are for girls. But it's personally, unless you have a Taco, Tacos are cool Toyotas, but the Tundras and Ridgelines I have no respect for. But these Duramaxes here, these are just proven reliable trucks. They're aesthetically beautiful looking, and of course that's all subjective, but no one can argue with the Duramax platform, and paired with the Allison as being one of the best out there. So I will be coming back at you guys with a part 2 of the top 5 things I hate about my truck. Not really that I hate anything about it, but there are certain things that do really aggravate me that I think should have been on the truck that didn't come from the factory, or why did they do this, why they do that. So I will make that video, of course, to show you guys, the truck isn't all perfect to me. There are things that I wish were different, but overall, these trucks are beautiful. But if you do like these trucks, smack that subscribe button, smack the bell notification, smack the like button, share the video. Let's grow the channel, guys, because I do have big things planned for this truck with my truck. Like I said, we have a new L5P I'll have on the channel. Now that is just a work vehicle for us, guys. We're not going to be deleting it and doing anything crazy with it, but I can give a good review on the L5P compared to the LML here, and let you know, do I wish I would have sold my truck to get an L5P? Is it that nice? Is it worth selling your LML for an L5P? Of course, I can bring those videos to you guys, but like I said in the last video, there are big plans for this truck and my truck. And of course, Pops always has to be one step ahead of me, so he will be one step ahead of me with the next slew of mods that are going to be happening to both of our trucks. So I think you guys are going to be super ecstatic with what we have planned for these things. It's something that you really don't see on any of the YouTube channel, as far as 2 LMLs that are going to be nasty. Of course, one's lifted, one's lowered. I mean, of course, I can't keep up with Dirty Max Jack with having 8 trucks in my driveway, but hats off to him. Like I said, guys, please subscribe, share the video. Let's grow this channel. I have a lot of crazy stuff coming soon, and I will keep you guys updated very shortly on what is happening to these trucks, so I don't leave you guys on a cliffhanger for too long. Hope you guys have a good rest of your weekend. Take it easy. Drop a comment below if you have any questions about anything I said in this video, or even just drop your top 5 things you love about your truck. Whether you have a Cummins, a Power Stroke, a Duramax, even if you have a Corvette Z06, I'd love to hear what you guys like about your vehicles as well. drop those below in the comments. I always read all the comments, and if you guys have any questions as well, ask them. I do always try to reply. Hope you enjoy the video. Take it easy. I'll see you next time.